I am a woman. I am a funny woman. We are all talented, funny, powerful women. We are out here. It's going to happen. Deal with it. I'm sorry you're not getting laid. It's not about you. Move on.
YouTube. A little under the weather right now. If you guys haven't noticed, I haven't posted a video about the update on what's been going on with this localizer bullshit. And the reason why, I'm pretty sure you can tell from my voice, if you guys, been listening to me for a long time, my voice is a little deeper. And that's because I've been under the weather. I got my ass kicked by, not COVID, but a sinus bug that's been going around in my area. So I've been out the game for a minute. I couldn't talk about this. I think it's a good thing, actually, because when I seen this video that I'm on this particular page right here, if you guys been following this, which I'm pretty sure some of you guys have, look at my face right now. If you guys been following this, I'm pretty sure you guys know what this dreaded scene is right here. I'm gonna show it in a minute. The reason why I'm glad I waited is because when I seen this scene, I wanted to respond and jump on it like it was nothing because it pissed me off that much. So I'm glad I was sick and my voice was shot to fuck to where I couldn't say nothing. So I sat back and I watched, and boy, I'm glad I did, because I wouldn't have had a long ass video that I'm gonna have right now, because the backlash that came off of this video is just pure gold. And oh yeah, they actually I made a comment in my last video talking about these localizers, about me saying that Asmongold was the one who, the reason why this is so popular now is because Asmongold talked about it. I said that in the video, and I said it in the comment section too. A couple people didn't agree with me. They said no, Asmongold wasn't the one that made it, popular now. Bullshit. Because guess what? The person who's in this fucking video right here, I'm pretty sure you guys can see this red hair person right here that I'm circling around. This person right here, Jamie Marchi, whatever the fuck, right? She's a Dragon Maid translator. One of the head ones. She has her cronies all around her, right? These are probably the 5 people that just plainly exist in the anime industry when it comes to the English dub circle jerk that they got going on. I bet you they only hire these 4 people because you hear these voices all the time. Tara Strong especially. You will see the same names over and over in their swashbuckler adaptations when it comes to translating animes and stuff. You will only get these 5 people. You will rarely get a couple more, but I think they got a sisterhood going on to where, like, if you say anything against them, then you're getting the boot. But I'm glad I waited. But for people who don't care about this shit, or who already know about this stuff, you can skip ahead. I'm gonna do a previously on for a second, you know what I'm saying, like, just to catch people up on what's going on when I play this video. Because right after I play this video, we're gonna go into a domino effect of shit that I'm gonna touch base on that just blew my mind and just kind of irks me, but it got a good resolution in the end, I promise you. So let's go back and we're gonna start off on how the shit started. I made a video not too long ago when it comes to the localizers, the people who are responsible for translating the Japanese anime into English, right? What I basically said was, and what we found out, which we all knew, was the fact that certain localizers are not doing their jobs properly. What do I mean by that? They're changing things because Western activists and Western entertainment people hate Japanese entertainment so much because they can't control it. They hate the fact that they say F you with everything they do, and they hate the fact that they just cannot change them. They can't shackle them to control us, because in the West now, anime is more popular than ever. Japanese entertainment is more popular than ever over here. Korean entertainment is more popular than ever. Chinese entertainment is more popular than ever. The Asian market is killing it over here in America right now. And that's because these fucking people don't want to listen. And because of what they do. So because they're pissed, localizers are hiring activists now. Not people who are meant to do their jobs. Activists who change things in Dragon Maid, like, adding words like patriarchy. Some shit that, like, Japanese people would never say. That's not prevalent in their society. They will put words like that we will use over here. Not me, but, the activists over here will use. It's a Dragon Maid, and it started up a shitstorm to where it blew up, and people were talking about it. People were mind blown. Asmongold being one of them, the biggest one, which is Asmongold being one of them, and it actually got to his attention. So now we're here, And I made a video talking about all that type of stuff. So yeah, Asmongold was the one that blew this up. And you're going to see why in a second. But before we get there, I want to play you guys this clip that pisses me off to the fullest. Because I can't stand when people do this shit. Watch this.
I'm ready to bring down the room. Let's do it.
We need a spotlight.
So Funimation has come under, let's call it, criticism for how they choose to adapt their scripts for
like
a couple of
unnecessary
shows.
hate. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, and a lot of that I feel is directed at you unfairly.
Thank you.
So how would you like to respond to that kind of criticism?
To the criticism, like, I have a vagina, deal with it. Like, it's honestly, that's the truth. I am a woman. I am a funny woman. We are all talented, funny, powerful women. We are out here. It's going to happen. Deal with it. I'm sorry you're not getting laid. It's not about you. Move on. That's my reaction.
All right.
There were a lot of
Just how
very
it is.
angry Reddit comments that winter.
But thank you. Anybody else have anything to add to that?
I think you nailed it.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That's enough of these fucking cows. Okay, so there's two things I want to point out about that. I'm pretty sure you guys already know what the issue is to begin with, right? So this guy right here, kudos to him for even saying this shit. Because like for most people in the industry, you know, who's like a part of these events and stuff like that, most people are scared to speak up. Most people are scared to talk in front of people anyway. So kudos for him for even bringing this up. Her response irks me because I cannot stand bully tactics. And that's what she's doing right now. Watch this.
Funimation has come under, let's call it, criticism for how they choose to adapt their.
Look how condescending she is right now.
Unnecessary hate.
She automatically went to unnecessary hate. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
And a lot of that I feel is directed at you unfairly. And
Now for him, you can't shame this guy, right? Let me put it like this. I've seen a lot of people speak in front of a lot of people before. I've spoken in front of a lot of people before. Hundreds of people, thousands of people. You either have it or you don't. I'm just going to be real with you. And there's people probably on the internet shaming him because of him saying that, you know, unfairly and shit like that. Let me tell you what he's doing. When people are nervous, they do diffusers to try to make it seem like you're not a threat or anything like that. You don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to be shamed. You don't want to be stuff like that. He's probably had mean things said to him before. But he actually had the balls to come up here and say this statement. People who would say behind the scenes that they would say something to her won't say it like he did. They won't even have the balls to even come up here and say what he said. Let me be fair on this. I would literally, if I was there, since I have experience doing this shit, I got experience being in uncomfortable situations, in boardrooms, in places to where you wouldn't even, man, I'm telling you, I've been in rooms with powerful people, and I do not shut my mouth. So I know for a fact how hard it is to do this for somebody who's not naturally like that. He's doing diffuser tactics. I'm not a diffuser. I'm a disruptor. So the moment that I would, man, you telling me, I would have sat there and I wouldn't have used diffusers. She would have automatically knew by me talking to her from the tone of my voice, it would have still been respectful, but from the tone of my voice that I meant business and that I'm not on her side. I'm not an ally. I'm here to ask you that question because I know what you are. It's what she does after that pisses me off because now she knows she can bully him because of what he said.
And
Then she goes further into this.
how would you like to respond to that kind of criticism?
To the
particularly-
criticism, like, I have a vagina, deal with it.
I have a vagina, deal with it.
It's honestly.
Is that an answer?
I am a woman. I am a funny woman. We are all talented,
Jesus
funny,
fucking Christ.
powerful women. We are out here. It's going to happen. Deal with it. I'm sorry you're not getting laid.
Okay, I can't stop this. Okay, so you know what? Oh, Jesus Christ, I thought I could do this nicely. I can't do this nicely because, you know what? You're going to call a community that I'm a part of virgins because they do not like it when you change the source material and you tend to add your own stuff and you have an arrogant attitude. And you know what? It turns to find out, I found out how old you were. You're fucking 40. And you're using terms like virgin to shame a person who's asking you a genuine question. And no, not him per se. You are calling him that per se. You know what he thinks. You're just being a bully because you know you can't be a bully to him. This is a shame tactic that bullies use in high school. 12-year-old girls use this tactic. And they use this to protect themselves from any criticism. It shuts down a room. All you gotta do is say plug words like virgin. Oh, you're ugly, or your breath stinks. It don't even have to even equate to the question or the conversation. All you gotta do is say these trigger words that get people with insecurity issues to shut down automatically. And she knows that this industry and this field and this fan base are full of people just like it. Just like people like him. So she knows she's not going to get pushed back in public. I want you to say that around me. I need to be a part of these spaces more. I have to. Because I can't stand, I cannot stand people like her who just started getting dick in her 30s, late 30s, and think that she can use the slander word virgin as an insult to people now that she's finally getting dick in her late 30s. Bitch, you're 40 and you're using insults like virgin when you're a grown-ass woman. That's 12-year-old shit. That's how you know you wasn't getting dick in high school. You were the virgin. But now all of a sudden, since you got a little power and you translating these animes and shit into English and you're on a panel, you're making a little money. Now that you're getting dick in your 30s, now you think you can use that word. You know what's funny? I dealt with a lot of people who used to get bullied around me. I can't stand it. I used to take up for these dudes constantly. I used to take up for girls who got picked on. I used to take up for dudes who got picked on. I cannot stand a fucking bully. And you know what else I can't stand more than bullies? I can't stand fake bullies. I can't stand people who were nerds in high school who grow up to be bullies because they got picked on. You was never speaking like this when you was younger than 20. You're speaking like this now because it's like a kid who just learned how to curse for the first time. You ever met that kid before? You can just tell he learned his first cuss word, so now he's just saying fuck every sentence. Just because it's exciting to say it now. Well, I get to say it because I learned I can do it now. Fuck, just out of nowhere. You're like a girl who never got to call anybody a virgin back when you was in high school. So now in your 40s, when you finally got dick in your late 30s, now you can finally say it to people. And you can give yourself that dopamine hit that you never got when you was younger. I know exactly who you are. You 40-year-old loser. And you gonna come after my people and call them virgins because they challenging you? Okay, so you know what? Right after this, right? That's why I said I'm glad I waited. Right after this statement, right? This shit blew the fuck up. Not one... Let me get my ass out the way. Look at what these people said. She is getting cooked on social media. I laugh at this knowing this is going to come back and bite them in the ass in the end. She is 46 years old, by the way. Pathetic. Extremely pathetic. Let me like this shit. Thank you. Hashtag Asmongold. People are already sending this to Asmongold. If he follows up his initial reaction with this, I would be honored. Yes. How do I get a recording this clip? I already got it. Nobody is on her side. She is literally getting fucked in this thread right now. The more unhinged these people, man, these people are fucking unhinged. So you know what? We're gonna move on to the person who y'all thought was not responsible for this blowing up, and watch what he said. Because guess who responded? This same 46-year-old bitch responded to Asmongold about his response to what he said when he figured this out. Watch this.
This has been an ongoing power struggle between, for anybody who hasn't caught up with this, there are basically people that are called localizers that are effectively cultural translators for anime. And then what they do is they change the meaning of different things that are said to mean something totally different to make it congruent with their worldview. They're basically so bad at their job that they become good at doing another job.
That's genius.
So
that went over a lot of people's heads what he just said. That's fine, but it's true.
Going on. Let's hear what they have to say.
Today we have another round of localizer-related drama to cover. This week there's been a big spotlight on localizers.
Okay, so we're not going to watch this entire thing. I just want to give you his response on what made her respond to him.
The only time that people result to just like calling somebody an idiot or something like that, or like saying that you're a Nazi, it's because they can't refute the argument. Because there are things like, I'm trying to think of an example. Remember that one guy that he was complaining that about health inspections for restaurants? Well, there were people calling him idiots, but most people were like, well, what are you going to do then?
not only do they not respect the source material, they don't have any respect for anime and manga fans in general. And I think this clip is getting a lot of attention because of how absurd Jamie is. Like, this is an absolutely embarrassing response to a very simple question and set of criticism. So
she's an unhinged, lonely 40-year-old who hasn't got dick since 35. I'm just going to come out and say it because nobody else want to be mean enough to say it. I'm going to say it. I know for a fact you were not getting dick in high school because nobody who was, and no female who was, talks like this in their 40s. You sound like you're 12. And you're using responses like this, like he just said, because you can't refute the argument, so you resort to baseless shaming. You are a fucking idiot. And that's why I'm basically saying, these people, let me just calm down. These people you cannot take seriously. You cannot go back and forth with. You cannot even, these people are not worth trying to convert back to sanity. They're gone. They're fucked. You have to get them out. There is no reasoning with these people. They have to fucking go. They're like they're like a plague that just has to be quarantined, waited out till they fucking die, and then just go in and just clean up the mess that they left. That's what you're gonna have to do with these people. Because there's no reasoning with these people. You seen Terminator, right? There's no reasoning with these people.
So after seeing that clip, I went to go find her Twitter, and lo and behold,
she blocks you.
Which is not surprising because I'm blocked by basically every localizer and anyone who supports their mistranslations. But nonetheless, over the past
fucking cowards
or so, she has been on a rampage on Twitter, basically responding to anyone criticizing her for that Q&A or her bad localizations or anything that she's been involved with, where she's trying to paint a picture that everyone who criticizes her is soft or a snowflake or sensitive. You'll see some replies like this. This person brought up the Q&A and they said, "I don't see how replying to comments on my own posts could be considered bullying, but I'm sorry you're so sensitive about it." And then this person said,
fucking
it's
bitch.
again, right? It gets back into, oh, you're so sensitive. This woman's 46 years old and she's acting like she's 4 to 6 years old. It's sad.
I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I said 12.
Imagine spending years of your life fuming over a single line from that Dragon Maid anime, then in the same breath being a part of the crowd that unironically calls other people snowflakes, and of course she agrees to that.
That part.
Again, shifting the narrative, like, where is this happening at all? And
spending years of your life fuming over a single line from Dragon Maid anime, and then in the same breath being part of the crowd that unironically calls other people snowflakes. And this is what these people try to do. They try to change things and then act like it's not a big deal that they change them, and you're stupid for caring about it. So, like, they want to do something that you don't like and then call you stupid because you don't like it. Like, people...
Exactly. So that's basically what gets her to say this next part that I'm about to show you guys right here. If you guys want to watch all this stuff, I'm going to have links in the description too at the bottom, just in case of people, trust me, I know research is hard. I know it's hard, and I know, some people just get lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't want to find shit. So I'm gonna have links in the description of where I found all my information from, and then you guys can go down the rabbit hole yourself. But I want to just keep this short. I'm gonna show the response, and then I'm gonna get to the next part. So this is her response to Asmongold.
Recently, some followers of Asmongold have been criticizing me and demanding answers regarding a line I wrote.
I don't own this problem. Yeah, I didn't even know about this until like a week and a half ago.
That's why I told you Asmongold is the one that blew this up. And he didn't even know he was, popular enough to blow this shit up. But obviously he is. But the thing is, though, in order for her to respond to him, you have to really touch the nerve. It said something. But he just basically said what everybody else was thinking. So what he said, it just spoke for everybody else, much to really touched her, for her to have to make a response TikTok video. And she did it on TikTok like a fucking coward that he's not even on. Do it on his platform. But you're going to do it on TikTok because you're a fucking coward. This is what she said.
And the answer I gave to a question at a panel a year or two later.
The criticism, like, I have a vagina, deal with it.
If you don't know who Asmongold is, he is a streamer with well over 2 million followers. Since Asmongold was gracious enough to respond to the criticism and the demands for answers he's been receiving regarding his involvement with soft giving and their controversy.
So I'm not going to speak on behalf of Asmongold or any other content creator involved in this situation, but right now there is an article going around alleging that Soft Giving, a company that is like the middleman for content creators and charities, was taking a larger percentage than they should have. Where I'm assuming most of these content creators had no idea that Soft Giving was taking that large of a cut from these charitable donations. And
this might come as a big surprise.
I heard about this too.
To you guys, but the reason why I haven't talked about this is because there's an ongoing lawsuit. Rest assured, after it's over, I will have something to say.
I
bet
it's only fair
no comment
that I respond.
Okay, so let me just be real with you. Do we honestly believe that Asmongold will have anything to do with stealing money? Do we really? Like, if you guys follow Asmongold or actually watch him in general, do you honestly believe that Asmongold will even be in a conversation when it involves stealing money? This guy is the last person who I would expect to even give a shit about money. He clearly doesn't care. Have you seen his house? This guy does not give a fuck about money. So
to his followers and comments.
Watch this.
Well, who gives a shit? Somebody makes an allegation against me and now somehow I have to respond to it? No, I don't have to say anything.
Allegation.
Who gives a fuck?
And this is the funny
She
thing
is 40 years old. And her response to everything that Asmongold just said was, you think I have to respond to what somebody has to say? Who gives a fuck? That's it. In a position to where you're serving an entire fan base who does not speak Japanese, who watch anime, and you're serving an entire community of people who basically depend on you. And you basically say, who gives a fuck? These people have lost their goddamn mind. They have lost their fucking mind. This bitch is 40 in a plaid shirt. Yeah, she literally is reliving her 20s. She's trying to relive her teen years, her 16 all the way to 20.
about this is
Jesus
like,
Christ.
I wasn't even talking about this.
What do you mean?
If somehow I have to respond to it? No. Who gives a fuck? It didn't even have anything to do with this in the first place. And again, guys, I don't bother to correct the context with this kind of stuff because it doesn't matter. They've already decided, oh, I know that you're guilty. I know that you're wrong. Like, all I was saying is, like, just stop changing the words and trying to put your agenda into it. It's obnoxious. Stop it.
She has just been going off on people.
See, he's a straight base person. Like, what he's basically saying is this. With people like her, there's really no winning. There's really no arguing with these people. Like I just said before, there's no arguing with these people. There is no arguing with these people. There is one way to handle these people. You ignore them, hope they fade into existence, and stop giving money. There are other ways to watch anime. Trust me. We know. Especially the ones who grew up in the 90s, we know. There are plenty of ways to watch it. And I'm guilty of this too. I'm just going to be real. I got a Crunchyroll account. But that's going to change. That's her fucking response. And what Asmongold basically said, it just makes sense, though. For real. There is no talking to these people. There is no reasoning with these people. The best way you can deal with these people is just fucking leave them be and hope they die out like the plague they are. But stop paying attention to them. And stop giving them money. Like I said with Sweet Baby. Like I said with these localizers. Like I said with all these movies in Hollywood that's basically working for you. You're the customer. They can't serve you if you don't buy. So if you keep buying, if you keep watching, guess what? They're going to keep doing it. I don't take an ass fuck if I don't bend over. Stop bending over and letting them fuck you. It's as simple as that. But this is the other thing that gets on my nerves too. Watch this. Because this is going to go back to the second part of my video and I'm going to end it here. Because this is the main issue. And this is the reason why I believe people like me is more effective than people like Asmongold. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm going to tell you what I mean after this.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. But here's my feeling. Anytime I make, like, if I'm making misogynists and Nazis angry, then I'm doing all right.
That right there is what I want to talk to you about. And this is what I'm going to end the video on. This shit right here, and the reason why I said I'm going to be more effective than people like Asmongold or even the guy that was even talking in the video about this situation, you guys are effective to an extent. But let me tell you why you will never be heard. It's because you're white. When they can use terms like this,
I'm doing all right.
Told me that happened.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about it later. But here's my feeling. Anytime I make, like, if I'm making misogynists and Nazis angry, then I'm doing all right.
if they can use terms like this to discredit you easy in this society, you already lost. There's really nothing. Your voice means shit. It don't matter if you making the most sense possible. The reason why it's more effective coming from me, and I just hate saying this because it is the truth, but they started this shit. It's because I'm black. It's not seen too often. How many black creators do you see going after this bullshit in the industry? You don't. And I'm not trying to be the martyr. I'm not trying to be the champion. I just happen to be black that speak up and hate this shit. That's the reason. White people, you gotta stop taking this blatant racism that comes from your own fucking women. And it's white women saying this shit to y'all. I don't understand how y'all can take from your own women calling y'all Nazis and shit too. Aren't they benefiting from the same, what they would call white supremacy too? They're the ones that claim this shit. Y'all benefiting from the same shit. What are y'all talking about? Oh, because y'all women. So that's what make y'all minorities and oppressed? According to your own logic, you're white, which means you're still benefiting. So how do you feel comfortable calling your own men Nazis? And that's the easiest way to discredit any white person. No matter how much they make sense with anything, all you got to do is call them Nazi, misogynistic. Oh, they must be right. Shut them down. Am I telling the fucking truth? I told no lies here. I'm just being real. I'm just speaking. I'm just saying what we all know. So to end this video, I'm gonna do something that I never thought I was gonna do, because I don't like being that petty. I don't like being that type of person. But you know what? For her,
I'm gonna make an exception.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La la la